Hello good people, welcome to Keep Left, your car guide to all things cars and all things automotive. Today we are going to be doing the weather. It is raining but content is king. The car on review today is one of those cars that has been there, proven and tested. In fact, Toyota used to run a very audacious ad in terms of these cars. What Toyota would say about this car, if it is perfect for the militia, who are you? This car is that tough. Welcome to the 8th generation of the Toyota Hilux. The Revo package basically is the upper trim of this car, and you can notice by the fact that it comes with this carry boy on top, which covers the back hauling area, which is quite nice. And you can notice some of the subtle things you can notice is, if you come close, you'll see this back tail lamp, which most of them don't come with. It's an extra function. The car comes ably with these are aftermarket 19-inch rims, and if you ask me, for this look, it is spot on. It makes the car look very menacing and angry. It's something that when you meet on the road, it looks very nice. The side step also comes standard, and again, with the Revo package, you'll notice this chrome finish on the handlebars that comes all round, also on the rim, the window frame, and on the side mirrors. The car also comes with side blinkers, which come in handy because of the size of the car. You want someone to see how far this car comes. If you come to the front, the lighting is very well taken care of. These are xenon headlights. So in terms of engines, they have the petrol engines, which are 3 engines. The first one is the 1TR FE engine, which is a 2-liter engine. They have a 2.7-liter engine, the 2TR FE. This engine is the 2TR is reminiscent of Toyota Prados. Aside from that, they have a V6 engine, which is a 4-liter engine, naturally aspirated. And the first 2 petrol engines are actually inline 4 engines. That's the beauty about the petrol engines. The petrol engines are not so common when it comes to these cars because obviously they will consume much more fuel. So in terms of diesel engines, that's where the Hiluxes make good about the name. So in terms of diesel engines, they have 6 different diesel engine configurations. The first one is the 2.4-liter one. Actually, it's a 2GD FTV. They have a further different 2.5-liter engines. The first one is just a 2.5-liter engine, which is turbocharged. The second one is a 2.5-liter engine, which is equally turbocharged, but it is intercooled. The difference between the 2.5-liter engines is the second intercooled version is what usually has a top-mounted intercooler. Normally, these other ones, the intercoolers are mounted on the front of the car for easier airflow. The other one has a top-mounted, and then the bonnet will have a hood scoop. The other engines that they have is this, the creme de la creme, the 2.8-liter engine, which is the 1GD FTV. Remember, I told you in my previous video on the Toyota Hilux, the 1GD engines replaced the 1KD engines because of their efficiency in terms of management of the exhaust gases. Remember, the hotter your engine is, the lower the efficiency of the engine is. And these engines are known to be efficient in terms of heat management, and they increase efficiency up to 44% from the 1GD engines. The other engine denotations are the 3-liter 1KD FTV engine, which is slowly being replaced by this. And finally, they have the 3-liter 5LE engine, which is the only naturally aspirated engine in terms of the diesel engines. This 2.8-liter engine is very well balanced. It gives you perfect power and usability, and at the same time it is rugged and raw. This engine revs so well, and with the combination of the transmissions that this car comes with, it is the best package in terms of these cars. So in terms of gearboxes, you have 4 different types of gearboxes, and I'll start with the one we currently have. This is the 6-speed gearbox with the IMT. Remember, I told you the IMT is intelligent manual transmission. There's a further 5-speed manual transmission. That one doesn't have the IMT. We go to the automatic variants. You have a 5-speed automatic and a further 6-speed automatic. That as far as the gearboxes go for these models. Next to the push to start button, you have a compartment which you also push and it reveals a compartment. You have a compartment here which is a phone holder, and these cup holders on the center area here. You have a compartment here which acts like a cooler box. On the co-driver side, there are 2 compartments. One you just press here, and then the second one also you just press here and it opens. So the car is you also have a compartment here for probably your sunglasses, and this can also be used to put the driver's license, which is quite opportune. Yeah, so in terms of compartments, the car is very well catered for. Before I forget, there are also compartments on the side doors where you can also put a drink or just a cup on there. This is shared on the driver's and the co-driver's side. For ventilation, the ventilation for this is put on the center armrest for the front sitting people. So this one is put here and it caters for the back people, which is quite opportune. Most 4x4s and dual cabs like this one will miss out on this, and because this is a higher trim, they put this standard for you, which is quite nice. So this car is very well ventilated. At the back, the space is good. Anyone who is up to probably 6'2", 6'3", you will fit comfortably here. This is with the seat at the most comfortable position. This is the driving position that I was driving, and so there's enough legroom at the top. It's not even a question. There's more than enough room at the top here. There's always this handlebar for you to support yourself in the event that you're in a rugged road. The seats are leather, which I mentioned earlier on, which is very nice, and this is quite quality leather. In the middle, the middle seat can turn into an armrest and a cup holder, so you can always put a cup here and you're comfortably sorted in terms of where to put your drink. This one slides up to reveal an extra seat, so it's a 5-seater if you think about it this way. The leather is covering the denotations, but this car has ISOFIX, so if you have the car seat for toddlers, you can always put it on here. It's here. They come standard with the ISOFIX, and that's a good thing to have. So I wanted to talk about the fuel economy of this car, and quite ably, the owner of this car is currently doing 10.6 kilometers to the liter, which is quite nice for this behemoth of a car. And basically, that's the rating that most people talk about, around 10.6 to 11 kilometers. This will be dependent on the driving conditions that you put the car into. Some of the changes that came to this generation, the 8th generation of the Hilux, were from the previous generation, you used to have a transfer lever next to the gear. In this one, you have a rotating dial to denote the different levels of 4-wheel driving that you have. So you just switch this to get to a different level. For entry prices, we'll talk about anything from around 4.7 million to upwards of 6 million shillings. This will also be determined by the year and the trim level. Remember, these cars come with 3 trim levels. There is the SR, the SR5, and the SR5 Plus. So now, the drivability of this car, that is something that I've always wanted to do, and the good thing is this is a manual transmission. As I had mentioned earlier, I always fancy manual transmissions because I feel they give you that driving experience that an automatic gearbox can give you. I know automatic gearboxes come to give you that convenience, but this fills your heart with car driving experiences that you can actually not share with someone. They just have to experience. So now we start the drive just to see how good this car drives. And this car comes with something they call the IMT. If you look closely down here, IMT is intelligent manual transmission. This one here, this one, I'm sure you could have come across this, but you never knew what it is. This one will tell you when to shift. That's the intelligent part of it, and it will actually help the car to maintain the proper rev limits so that you have an efficient driving in this. This comes hand in hand with the eco drive. Remember, you cannot drive this car in an economy mode if you're in the wrong gears, and this is quite true considering that this is a manual transmission car. In an automatic, eco mode is very simple and easy, but for the manual ones you have to do everything by yourself. I like the seating position of this car. It is a behemoth of a car. From the outside you can tell it's a big car, but you don't get the size of this car until you start driving it. And the 2.8 liter diesel turbocharged engine in this, the 1GD, perfect driving. It runs so smooth. You actually feel like you're driving a truck. It's an imposing feature. It's raining, but you can actually feel how well the car is planted on the road, which is a very good thing. I like the center console of this car. It is simple and minimalistic. This center screen area captures most of the thing. It's your radio and all functionalities. It comes with Bluetooth functionality, so you can always pair your phone. It also comes with a space for your USB drive, so you, down here, which means you don't need to put any extra accessories for you to access the USB functionalities of this car. So something that I feel is important I mentioned in this car is the driver aids that you have on the steering wheel. So this car has enough buttons to cater for you. Since it's a manual drive, I respect the fact that they put the steering wheel controls have things like sound. You can answer your phone on this car, even just to make sure that your driving is well assisted. It has a cruise control setting here, which is quite nice, especially in a manual car. Some of the things that I can talk about in terms of drawbacks of this car is quite occasionally you'll need to do DPF clearing. And this one, for this car, they talk about it being done automatically. There are other cars that where you will have to maintain a certain speed so that the DPF is unclogged by the constant driving. So your car, you can be told to hold the car for probably to around 60 kilometers per hour, and the car will clear the DPF. This one does it automatically. It can either be done stationary. Conditions that need to be met, you just need to be in an environment that is clean, or not dusty or windy, and the car will clear the DPF itself. It can rev itself up and down so that it evacuates. The other thing that is a drawback to this car is they are usually at certain mileages of usage of this car, and this is on high mileage cars, you will hear some timing chain rattle, and this usually means that the guides for the timing chain are either worn out or are on their way out. So that will mean the timing chain will start rattling, and that is something that needs to be taken care of. Remember, you can always change the timing chain on these cars. It gives you that extra mileage. Timing chains will expand just a little bit, and remember, if a timing chain just expands kidogo, it means that the car can become out of time, and you'll start having things like the car misfiring, the car using up a lot of fuel. So there are so many things that happen that you can remedy by just making those routine checks and maintenances. Thank you so much for sitting through this episode of the Hilux, Toyota Hilux. Thank you so much for those who have been subscribing to my channel. We are getting there. For those who haven't subscribed, take this opportunity to subscribe. And those who have subscribed, ring on the bell icon so that anytime good content comes out, you'll be notified. And until next time, it is peace.